I read something that just struck me. You described not being able to do something that your friends were able to do, like go to a nightclub and go dancing.
Right.
And the way you described it was that everyone wants to see how Harry Potter dances or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And what I took away from that was that every move you made was scrutinized, and there must have been a pressure associated with that. And I imagine that would feel like everywhere you went, you were still around the same people that knew you in high school that wouldn't let you grow and move on or something.
I mean, nobody consciously obviously doing that, but
no, in your
own
head, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's it's one of the reasons I love spending time in New York, is that, like, no one really gives a there, like, about who you are. Like, I can walk in places and no one cares, and it's great. In London, there's like a sense of, like, because I'm English, there's a sense of, like, familiarity and, like, ownership almost.
Yeah.
And particularly with, like, super, like, rich upper class people who will just, like, grab you like you are theirs. And go, come here, say hello to my friend.
Really?
All right, mate.
It's that familiar.
Oh yeah, and not always, but sometimes.
God, you've probably had some of the awkwardest moments in history.
Yeah, some. But there is, like, an awareness that I really struggled with, particularly in my, like, late teens, when I was going out to places for the first time, where you would like feel. And it could have largely been in my head, but you would feel watched when you went into a bar, when you went into a pub. And then, you know, in my case, the quickest way of forgetting about the fact that you were being watched was to get very drunk. And then as you get very drunk, you become aware that, oh, people are watching more now because now I'm getting very drunk, so I should probably drink more to ignore that more. And, like, you know, so it gets into, you know, you get into it can affect your psyche, and you sort of have to, and I think that's something, as I said, there is no blueprint for starting young and working stuff out.
Right.
That's why, like, whenever people, like, having a go at, like, Justin Bieber, drag racing cars or whatever, I'm always like, yeah, but, you know, I don't know, like, stuff could be super crazy for him right now. I don't, like, it is.
There's an empathy because unless you're on that side of it, there's no way you can understand it.
You don't quite know how kind of overwhelmed it's possible to get in it, or to, you know, and it's also, part of the thing is the expectation that you should just be delighted all the time. You know, you have a great job, you're wealthy, you don't have a right to ever feel sad or to not be, like, excited about the whole thing all the time. And I think that's a pressure as well, because if you suddenly start to feel like, man, if I am just feeling some human emotion of sadness, does that mean I'm doing this wrong? Does that mean, like, I'm not good at being famous or not good at, you know, living my life? But the thing I'm so lucky about is that I love it, and I ultimately love the work, and that's the thing I'll always go back to. But there are some people that, like, don't love it and then get trapped in it, and then in some cases you've become the breadwinner for your family, you're the hyper, and so an infrastructure of people is relying on you to keep doing this job that you might have got into when you were 8 and now hate, but now you would be letting so many people down if you didn't do it. So I was just, like, very lucky that I loved it and wanted to keep doing it.
That's a good point. So when you found yourself in that situation of, oh, I'm just going to drink and try to forget about it, and then I'll drink more because I can't forget about it because how did you sort of pull yourself out of that spiral? Because that was probably the fulcrum in your life where it could have gone either way, right?
Yes, I think so. I mean, you know, it took a few years and it took a couple of attempts, but I think I have been just unbelievably lucky with the people that I've had around me at certain times in my life. And I met some really key people, some of them actors, some of them not, who just gave me great advice and really cared for me. And ultimately, it was my own decision. Like, I woke up one morning after a night going, like, this is probably not good. And I don't miss it generally, like, now at all. Like, I really, and I know, and that varies for some people really still do, and some people, like, don't. And when I think of, like, like the sort of chaos I used to invite into my life, I'm like, I'm really much happier now. And I think there was some part of me that was like, actors have to be, like, crazy cool drunks. Like, I have to live up to this weird image that I have in my head of what it is to be, like, a famous actor or something. And then at a certain point, it becomes about, like, who are you actually? Like, if you're dropping all pretenses, like, what makes you happy? And, like, even at the lowest point, I still loved my job so much, and I loved going to set, and there was never a day where my own would affect how I was on set. And I would just, like, there was never a point where I was like, oh, I wish this hadn't happened to me. I wish I wasn't Harry Potter. Like, that just didn't happen.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.